I'm not sure what's happening. Do you stream on Facebook? Am I on Facebook? Am I on? I think I'm on.
No, are we on?
It's Audra of Church. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And thank you all for tuning in. I tell you, sometimes technology doesn't quite act the way you want to, but it's Friday. So we're going to keep on moving. I am so excited to be here with you guys this morning with an amazing guest. This woman is someone that I truly connect with on so many levels, professionally, in our entrepreneurial space, and also through our stories.
Yeah.
And I'm so blessed to have her as one of my co-authors in my upcoming release, Unchain Me Mama. And Unchain Me Mama will be released this fall at the Fierce Freedom Summit right here in Virginia Beach. And I cannot wait. So that's October 6th and 7th right here in Virginia Beach. And if you want more info or to grab some tickets, you can do that at fiercefreedom.info. Again, that's fiercefreedom.info. We're having a launch party. We're having a summit. It is going to be amazing. And the woman that I have before you this morning, you will get a chance to meet her there. Now, she has such an amazing story. I'm going to let her give you all the details, right? Sure. And make sure you stick around and tune in. We won't be before you very long because just like you, we still got to go to work. So go ahead and share this broadcast out. And also let us know who you are and where you're watching from. You know, I'll definitely circle back around after the broadcast and tell you thank you, because you could be anywhere else doing anything else, but you're here with us. And we definitely appreciate that. Right, Tierney?
Yes, absolutely.
So without any further ado, let me bring Tierney on to you. And Tierney, let the viewers know, one, how we met, and also how healing, how truly healing can help you better fund your empire. Because everyone's always talking about legacy, always talking about leaving something for their children, for their family, for their children's children, right? But there's some things that have to happen on the inside before that can happen.
Absolutely.
So go ahead and share that with the viewers, Tierney.
Well, good morning is fine, maybe morning, as we used to say. My name is Tierney Parker, and Audra and I met a few years ago. I was actually doing another project, and we met and we connected, as she said, connected very strongly because we have similar backgrounds. We both are very independent, very established women, but we had some issues in our past that could have hindered us from becoming who we are today if we allowed it. And so because of our past, we connected. We had this strong, connection. And it seems that because of that, we're able to now go on and do other things together.
Amen.
Yes. And so
you are part of the Lacey's Run event.
Yes, I was. And I was very honored to be a part of the Lacey's Run, just to be able to actually go through the 5K run and actually live to tell about it. But but the legacy behind it was the main reason why, because of your niece and, the things that she went through, her untimely death. And so we need to support causes like that. And it stems from brokenness.
Yes.
That actually.
Let me let the viewers know what Lacey's Run is, by the way. So they're like, what are they talking about? Lacey's Run is an annual fundraiser that I throw in honor of my niece, Lacey, who was killed when she was 6 and spent a portion of her life homeless. The 6 years that she did live, a big portion of that, she spent living in homeless shelters. So I wanted to do something to honor her memory. And so we did a virtual 5K fundraiser, and the proceeds went to Stand Up for Kids Hampton Roads, which is a local charity here that supports homeless youth that live on the oceanfront. And Tierney was kind enough to come hang out and run with us. So thank you so much. And I think that's when we truly kind of connected.
That's when we truly connected. Absolutely.
Yeah, we had this similarity. So let's talk about the legacy.
Yes. Well, the legacy in regards to funding an empire, everybody assumes that a lack of knowledge is the only reason why we can't consistently fund our empire, or we have behavior issues when it comes to our finances. But that may not always be the case. even if you acquire acquire knowledge, it could be something else that is holding you back, and it usually deals with brokenness, something that has happened in your life, deep-seated wounds, emotional wounds that is now hindering you from actually being stable in your finances, and not just being stable, but actually increasing your finances. And so people don't address that. They talk about, not having the knowledge, and financial knowledge is important.
Yes.
But sometimes there are other things that you have to address to ensure that you not only fund your empire, but you then in return help your children, because it's all about breaking generational curses. So help your children fund theirs. And you start with them when they're young, not when they're 30 and 40. You start young and you start talking to them about your issues, your experiences with money. You are your child's number one teacher when it comes to finances. We've all made mistakes. Who better to tell them about the mistakes we've made than us? You don't have to tell them everything, because we don't want to tell them everything, but tell them enough to help them to process. Okay, I need to save. I need to stay away from debt. Because mom said if I purchase this car with this high interest rate, it's going to hinder me long term. If I go in the grocery store and I don't compare prices, then that will hinder me in my finances, because I could have saved that money. And I need to not only manage, but multiply my money. So it's a lot of things that entail. But if you don't have inner healing, if you are hindered by brokenness, then it will seep through the way you actually have a relationship with your money. Having a healthy relationship with money stems from you identifying those issues within and addressing them.
So, Tierney, what does it look like? Some people have no idea. So what does it look like to have a healthy relationship with your money? Give one or two examples what that looks like to the viewers.
I'm glad you asked that. So having a healthy relationship with your money, actually, it comes from you understanding that money is simply a tool that you control. It does not control you, you control it. So when, let's say, for instance, a lot of people don't understand insecurity, they play a role in that.
Right.
So if you're feeling or you have insecurity issues because of brokenness, you're spending and spending and spending, and you don't know why.
Right.
Or you have to have the latest thing, or you have to buy this to look a certain way or feel a certain way, because you did not receive worth or feel like you had any worth when you were a child.
Right.
It even looks like, for example, with me, because I was so broken as a child, when I became a mother, I tried to use money and materialistic things to help my children not feel that emptiness I felt. So I used money. Some people use sex, some people use drugs, some people use alcohol. Well, I used money to try to make them feel like they had worth. But money can't make them feel that way. Only I can, by giving them the love and the attention that they need. But I had no idea that I was doing that. So that's a prime example. Christmas time around here, I was spending money left and right, getting into debt. Lord have mercy. Just
how many folks can relate to that? Come on now. How many of you can relate?
I didn't have, Christmas presents, and I know how I felt. And my children, doggone it, they're not going to feel that way. So I'm going to make sure they have what they need, but I'm getting into debt doing it. I'm spending their college money doing it and not realizing that.
Tierney, as you were talking, came to me. So many people are broke because they're broken.
Yes.
Right? They're broke because they're broken.
Yeah.
And I myself, again, we have so many similarities. The way I grew up, when I became older and could afford nice things, I bought nice things all the time. So I wore suits to work every day. I had a suit for every single day of the week, every day of the month. Yeah. I didn't have to repeat. I had a pair of shoes to match the suit. I had underwear to match the suit to match the shoes. It was ridiculous.
That sounds quite familiar. Matter of fact, that's scary because it sounds so familiar. Very much so. Do you
Right.
see how brokenness stems?
Yes.
It comes into our very fiber of our being. It's in our fiber of our being, and that it comes out in the way we spend our money and the things we spend our money on, and we
Yes.
don't even realize it. We chop it up as, well, it's just the way that I am, when
Right.
it's something deeper that we
Right.
need to address.
Because I would say, oh, I can't afford it, so why not? Well, the
That's it.
why
Oh
not
my
is
goodness, you are
your
hitting it.
intentions behind
Yes,
it. It's your
yes,
intentions behind the purchase, right? It's not
exactly.
that you need it, you're buying to cover up what you're feeling or to validate the child in you,
Oh wow.
right? That
Yes,
was ridiculed. The child in you that sat by and watched everybody else have while
yes,
you lacked. And
exactly.
so it's the intention behind it. There's nothing wrong with buying things as long as you can afford it. But even when you can afford it, if your intentions are not pure, it is still not something you should do. And you should figure out what's driving that purchase, because that money can be invested. All those suits I bought, so I could invest some of that money. All those shoes
Absolutely.
I bought, if I had invested some of that money.
Yes.
So that's definitely, I get what you mean. You painted a very clear picture about that healthy, relationship with money. I definitely get that.
Yeah. You actually hit on something, because one of the things that freed me was
Mm-hmm.
that I began to evaluate my purchases,
Right.
meaning, why am I spending money on this?
Right.
It's not a need, it's a want, but what's the motive behind why I want this? Why
Mm-hmm.
do I want this particular car? Is it
Right.
because I like this kind of car, or is it because of something else?
Yes.
When I started evaluating why, my motives behind why I was purchasing my wants, that helped me a lot.
Honey, you're gonna have some Lexus and Mercedes watchers getting nervous right now, Tierney.
Well, there's nothing wrong with having a Mercedes or a Lexus if that's what you like. It's nothing
Right.
wrong with that.
Right.
Where the issue comes in is where we're getting those things because society tells us, in order for us to be successful, we have
Yes.
to have a certain type of car. So
Yes.
we allowed that to come into our emotions, our mind, our thinking, our way
Yes.
of processing why I want to spend this money on this particular car is now tainted.
Right.
That's the issue. It's tainted.
Honey, you are so right. I love it. Regina Jean says, yeah, you better ask. You better ask yourself. You are so right, Regina. Thank you for tuning in. And Michelle Jones, Michelle Hall, Liddy, Lexi, thank you all for tuning in. And yes, Tierney is hitting the point. And it's Friday. A lot of folks get paid today. So they need to hear this conversation before they get
Pay yourself. Pay yourself first.
I would say hashtag my coins matter. Okay.
Yes.
My coins matter. So watch how you're spending your money and your habits around money, so you can truly build a legacy and fund an empire for your family. Because a lot of us have the money, we're just not doing the right things with the money.
Right.
And it's so closely tied to our healing and our need for healing, which was truly the catalyst behind the Fierce Freedom Summit and the release of Unchain Me Mama. Until we get to the root of why we do a lot of the things that we do, ladies, come on now, and in my online community, Freedom to Thrive, as we have conversations, for many of us, it became clear that a lot of the root of our issues lie with that uncomfortable situation with our mom.
Yes.
In society, we can talk about daddy issues all day long.
Absolutely.
But the moment you talk about an issue with your mom, folks want to fight you.
They just don't understand.
Right? But if you don't talk about it, you can't heal from it, and you can't be free from it. And then we carry these things on from generation to generation, right? You have an issue with your mom that's not resolved, and you walk around and you coexist until the next family cookout, right? And she says something that irritates you and you snap. Or she watch your kids and she says something to your kids that reminds you of how she talked to you. Come on now, can we be real?
Yes.
And then it rubs you the wrong way and the whole family is involved. So if we learn to deal with our issues on the front end, we'll have peace and freedom on the front end.
Yes.
And I think for women, we want to appease everyone. We want to make everyone happy.
That is true.
And we tend to say no to ourselves. We deny ourselves in order to make everyone else happy. And at the Fierce Freedom Summit, you will learn to boldly say yes to you. Boldly. Somebody put in the comments, boldly say yes to you.
Yeah.
And I know for some of you, the thought of that sounds really scary.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to give you the tools. We're going to teach you. We're going to give you implementable steps on how to be able to start making progress, to making that happen, and to reverse some of the thinking that has landed you where you are.
Absolutely.
And so at the summit, we'll be releasing Unchain Me Mama. You'll get to meet the amazing Tierney Parker and all the other Unchain Me Mama authors. And I just know this is going to be life-changing. And it's going to be the start of an uncomfortable conversation that needs to be had for you to have your freedom. So, Tierney, can you give the viewers one tip other than following you, because you're going to tell them how they can do that, right? So can you give them one tip on how to start the process to funding their empire? Just one tip.
Well, the process begins with understanding you have an empire to fund. Everybody does, and that your money is something that you control. It's simply a tool. It's a tool. So if you have an unhealthy relationship with money, and you can see it by the behavior patterns of spending, of debt, of living above your means, if you see that, if you observe that there's some things going on, you don't know where your money is going. Oh my goodness, that's a big one. Then you can, first of all, evaluate, why am I purchasing the things that I'm purchasing? And then address the issues.
Address it.
You have an empire, but you also need to leave a legacy for your children so they can build their empires. It's not always about you.
Yes.
There are other little people and even big people. I have all grown children that are watching you and the way you relate to money.
Say it again.
You don't want to, send the wrong messages to them.
You're exactly right. First of all, I love that. Somebody tweet this. You have an empire to fund. Because a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to figure it out when I get my 6-figure job.
No.
Or I'm going to figure it out when I start my business. No, right now, where you are today, you have an empire to fund. Somebody quote Tierney Parker on that. Now, Tierney, let the viewers know where and how they can keep in touch with you.
Well, they can actually keep in touch with me on Facebook at Funding an Empire. On Facebook, my fan page is there, and also fundinganempire@gmail.com. You can email me anytime. I love receiving emails from people telling me their stories and asking me questions and about all the issues I had, because I'm very transparent about my financial issues, what I had to overcome so that I can help others. So they can also reach me there. And my website is also fundinganempire.com as well, www.fundinganempire.com.
And Tierney, don't you also host a segment on the radio?
Absolutely. Every Friday, I host Funding an Empire. Do you see that name just keeps ringing? Funding an Empire, Funding an Empire, Funding an Empire. I host a segment on Fridays called Funding an Empire, and it's just me giving practical tips regarding everyday life situation as it relates to money. Just practical tips that will help you consistently fund your empire, no matter what income bracket you're in.
Awesome. On what radio station can they find
88.1.
88.1 FM. So if you're in the Hampton Roads area, 88.1 FM. You can tune in on Fridays and catch Tierney Parker for Funding an Empire.
And on the Kim and Colby Show.
On the Kim and Colby Show. Yes. So we love Kim and Colby, don't we?
Gotta say that.
Shirley Jenkins will be the mistress of ceremony.
Absolutely.
Fierce Freedom Summit. So you can come and check out Kim Jenkins, Kim J, or Tierney Parker at the Fierce Freedom Summit.
That's right.
The website again for your tickets is fiercefreedom.info. Fiercefreedom.info. Matter of fact, I got coupon codes for you. Don't want to leave without giving you that.
Coupons.
Audra gives gifts, right?
Yes.
So the coupon codes are for the classic ticket, classic 20, and for the Excel ticket,
yeah,
the excellence ticket, Excel 50. So classic 20, Excel 50 for those tickets at fiercefreedom.info. And that's a wrap for us, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have had an amazing time with the wonderfully beautiful Tierney Parker. Thank you for hanging out with me today. And for all of you guys that like to keep in touch with me, you can do that across all social media outlets at Authentic Audra. Share this broadcast out, and I will see you guys at the Fierce Freedom Summit and the Unchain Me Mama book release. Woo woo!
Yes.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.